Hello my awesome viewers, as I bring you a RU beta battle that is my most challenging battle yet due to the fact that this was plus 25 turns. Let us begin. Now, taking a look at his team, I realized that my Bronzong is the safest lead. I didn't want to predict anything because it was the first turn, and I knew that my Bronzong can take anything that this Ambipom wants to throw at it. And this was my Stealth Rockers, and I wanted my Stealth Rocks up for that Durant and that Golbat. And since I just so conveniently had Light Screen, I decided that I would eventually set it up after Toxicking it. But this Musharna kind of has a weird moveset, kind of. To my knowledge, it has Moonlight, Heal Bell, Calm Mind, and Psychic. So, is he a sweeper? Is he a healer? My opinion is just to give one Pokemon one job, so I don't know why he'd give Pokemon Calm Mind and Heal Bell in the same moveset. That's something I would do, so I'm questioning it. And here, it's kind of a bit of a stall, as I wanted to take this opportunity to use Mystical Fire, even though this was a waste of time, because he was still setting up on his special defense, and it's at this point that I realized that my only good physical attacker is my Archeops. An Archeops that is frail and with Defeatus. And so it was my decision to change this Archeops into something else after this battle, in which I will do after this recording, because later down the road, my Archeops does get KO'd, and I did freak out because that's when I realized that was my only physical attacker, and that I was on special attacks, so any special defensive wall would wall my team. And yeah, I was fortunately able to get this Musharna down to negative special attacking range, but again, it's still bulky, as I finally switched him into my Archeops. And fun fact, my Archeops can take a Psychic from Musharna at 50%, or it leaves at 50%. So if I immediately switched in my Archeops with a Light Screen, I could be able to scare it out while being left with good health. As I get scalded at the first turn, I was happy that turn too. And I kind of don't know why he set in his Golbat like that. I guess he wanted to get rid of my rocks right away, as he already discovered that my Archeops can take one Psychic, as I do what I should have done, and switch in my special defensive wall or Matisse. And this is where I found out that he had Heal Bell, so my Toxic was utterly useless. And I do not... Oh yes, it's this turn. After I saw that he switched in his Golbat, I decided to take this turn to use Switcheroo, so that he'd be locked into one move and be less bulky. But unfortunately, that one move was Toxic. And I thought that he was going to switch out. I didn't think he was just going to stay in. If I knew he was going to stay in, I could have just fired off a Stone Edge or a Crunch or whatever. But unfortunately, that did not happen. And in the next few turns, as I am Ice Beaming this Musharna, I am just wheeling down and wasting my own health because I forgot that this Musharna had Moonlight. And I believe it's the next turn after this that I finally switch out, because I also forgot that this thing had Heal Bell, even though it's supposed to be a sleeper. And Romatisse again. Oh yes, I remember. I wanted to get rid of the Toxics on my two pokes, so I used Aromatherapy. And I thought that he was going to Earthquake with his Drown, but instead he sets up the Home Claws. And I am not sure why he stayed in on my Delphox, but he commented down on the chat about Scarf, so I was just thinking that he had a very fast berry, or if Durant is faster than I thought. And I switched into my Dragalge because I knew that no matter what, this Heliolisk can't touch my Dragalge. And I am right. But he switches into his Golbat, which I am not sure why he did that. I guess he wanted to get a roost up while there was no rocks. I do not know. Although my Dragalge couldn't touch him anyway, so I guess I don't blame his decision. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I honestly thought that he was going to either heal Bell or he was going to Calm Mind. I did not think that he was going to just go straight up for the Psychic. And I was really starting to get worried because even though my Dark Pulse does clean this up, I still got worried because my physical attack was lost. So if his Tangrowth was especially defensive, I might lose this game. And the new 2 ments are kind of a little pointless as I get back my Stealth Rocks after 40 turns. I didn't know what to expect, so I just went for the Light Screen this turn, even though I doubt his Heliolisk would come into the next few turns. He unfortunately puts my Bronzong to sleep, and it's at this time that I realize his Tangrowth is poisoned, so I can get off a Venoshock if he doesn't switch out. Which he seeds me, but says the truth. It costs me my leftovers, yes, but I am able to kill it off with a Venoshock, and he does forfeit. Now, I'm not sure if Force Trading was the right idea, but hey, I'm not gonna judge him if he thought that this was a losing battle. Then, oh well, it's his choice, my victory. So that is the battle. More to come soon. Like if you enjoyed, sub if you so choose. Comment if you are able, and goodbye.